on 27
It's the
News.
shootout that's shaking up the capital city.
There's no way.
After the gunshots, I seen him shooting. There was about at least 10 to 15 officers had him at bay there as he was coming down the street.
A murder in South Topeka, followed by a chase into downtown Topeka. An officer shot on the way. A shootout ending in downtown with dozens of shots fired, a car crash, a suspect in the hospital, and multiple crime scenes across the capital city.
Then we heard a bunch of gunshots, and then we started walking this way, and we started seeing an accident and a lot of chain of events to lead up to this area.
27 News is following every aspect of this developing story tonight. Good evening. I'm David George.
And I'm Mackenzie Davis. We want to give you a look at where this actually all started. The initial murder was reported in a neighborhood right here, if you look at your screen, in South Topeka around 9:30 this morning. Then about an hour later, a chase through town ended with the shootout in downtown Topeka right here at this intersection. Now we have in-depth coverage of this story. Tonight, 27 News Capitol Bureau reporter Rebecca Chung is live in downtown Topeka where the situation ended.
But we begin with 27 reporter Matthew Johnstone live in South Topeka where the initial murder is under investigation right now. Matthew, what's the scene look like?
Mackenzie, David, I'm here in South Topeka where that murder investigation began earlier this morning.
And tonight, some Kansas legislators are telling us that they were in the building at the time of today's shooting.
Now, continuing our team coverage, we'll go to 27 News Capitol Bureau reporter Rebecca Chung. Now, Rebecca, can you describe how witnesses steps away from this incident reacted?
Well, Kansas Treasurer Lynn Rogers was in a meeting inside the Capers building when the shooting took place.
Tonight, we begin with continuing coverage in Lawrence. A years-long FBI investigation into the KU men's basketball program is now over. The Independent Accountability Resolution process announced its ruling today for KU's case, which dates back to the 2017-18 season.
Now, the program was accused of violating 5 Level 1 violations. Level 1 is the most severe infractions given by the NCAA, but the IARP downgraded them. We are working for you with team coverage. 27 News sports reporter Landon Reinhardt is in studio, and 27 News reporter Caroline Soro is live in Lawrence. So, Landon, we'll start with you first. What do these downgraded penalties now mean for the team?
Yeah, Mackenzie, we broke down at 4:30 that Bill Self and assistant coach Curtis Townsend. Now 27 News reporter Caroline Soro spoke with head coach Bill Self and AD Travis Goff just a bit ago. Caroline, what was the reaction from the Jayhawks?
Well, Bill Self's exact words were, "I'm glad this is over."
So let's bring in 27 News Storm Track meteorologist Becky Taylor now. Earlier, we could see the smoke from our West Topeka camera, so will the winds have an impact with the smoke?
Well, of course, Mackenzie, that, with winds, obviously fires need oxygen, and that does make it a little bit harder to contain these fires sometimes when our winds are a little bit stronger. But like you were saying, we could see this fire from our West Topeka camera. You're seeing some of that video on your screen right now, but we have seen that smoke kind of turn a little bit more gray in color, which at least tells me that we're seeing less of whatever was making it black. Maybe it's burnt off.
Working for you. 27 News starts now.
Westmoreland's a strong community. They will come back from this. They will rebuild, and they're going to be good.
Tornadoes strike down across northeast Kansas, and now many people are picking up the pieces in distraught. We thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Rebecca Chung. Tonight, we're continuing our coverage after multiple tornadoes touched down across the area. And tonight, we have confirmed one person has died, homes destroyed, and families displaced. We're working for you in all aspects with live team coverage across northeast Kansas, tracking the aftermath from this wide array of severe weather. Now, we begin with 27 News anchor David George. He's live in Westmoreland tonight, where Pottawatomie County officials are responding to tonight's storms. David, what are they telling you tonight?
I tell you, Rebecca, it was a massive response to this tornado. It struck at 4:40 this afternoon, just northwest of the brand new courthouse here in Pottawatomie County, ripped right through the northern part of town, hit an RV park, and then went out into open farmland. But immediately after that, everybody came surging in as first responders from Manhattan, also Wamego and St. Mary's, and this town is very grateful of the help they received. Here's what the fire supervisor had to say.
They got here quickly. They did a great job of getting organized, starting to search homes, starting to, we actually had a structure fire break out. They got it on that quickly, got it taken care of. Everybody did a great job, and, it's just a tragic loss.
And so you heard it right there. They are grateful for the help that came rushing into Westmoreland. Sadly, though, one fatality. The identity has not been released just yet. That will likely happen tomorrow morning after notification of next of kin. Also, 3 injuries to report, but thankfully those are non-life threatening at this time. Now, in the press conference that happened at 8:30 tonight, they said 22 homes destroyed, 13 others with what they're calling moderate damage, and then 1 commercial building also hit, plus the 6 trailers or RVs in that RV park. But it is so sad here tonight. There's going to be a lot of cleanup tomorrow, a lot of hugs, a lot of tears, a lot of cleanup and support, and then they will rebuild. And of course, the things they're grateful for is that it wasn't worse, and also that they will rebuild and be stronger than ever. Reporting live in Westmoreland, working for you, David George, 27 News.
Absolutely tragic. David, thank you so much for that live report. And tonight, families are picking up the pieces after tornadoes ripped through their homes, leaving many displaced. 27 News reporter Jacob Kaufman also on the grounds tonight in Westmoreland. Jake, you spoke with many people whose lives are now changed. What did they tell you?
Yeah, that's right, Rebecca. What was once just a couple hours ago a neighborhood completely filled with people picking up pieces, making sure that their friends, family, neighbors are all okay, is now turned into a ghost town, with the exception of the Kansas Gas Services and Evergy behind me putting some work together. Nobody is out. It is very quiet. But let's start talking about some damage. You can see right here, we have playground equipment completely bent, branches everywhere, trash from all over the place in different places. And then if you want to walk over with me right here, this is pretty fast. The most interesting thing in my personal opinion, here's a tree right here, but look at all right here, completely uprooted from the ground. You can just see how strong these winds would have to be to pull all of that out. But that's only some of the damage out here in Westmoreland. You can see on your screen now video of other damage and that we have taken throughout the night. We talked to many people, many saying that they weren't even here when this tornado happened, and getting phone calls saying that their house was hit, and including one person who grew up here in Westmoreland, Beverly Harris, and this is what she had to say.
I just really feel for the entire town. I grew up here. These are our neighbors, these are our family.
Now, Beverly Harris does no longer live here in Westmoreland, but right behind me, this was her childhood home, her mother's home, and they ended up coming back. Beverly was telling me her mother currently living in a nursing home, but so grateful that she wasn't here, tearing up, telling me because if she was, she would more than likely no longer be with them. Beverly, along with many other people here in the neighborhood, packing things up, putting them in their car, going someplace else. Many of the people that have told me they do have a place to go for the night, so they're very thankful for that regard. Working for you live in Westmoreland, Jacob Kaufman, 27 News.
A lot of damage, a lot of devastation in Westmoreland tonight. Jacob, thank you. And tonight, Pottawatomie County officials have created a temporary shelter for anyone displaced from these storms in Westmoreland. This is at Rock Creek High School in St. George, and that address is on your screen right now. It is open to anyone who needs a place to stay who currently don't have a home. The Red Cross will also be at the school to help those impacted from the storm, and crews will be providing meals, snacks, and water. The Red Cross will be able to share more information about the disaster-related relief for anyone in need. And thousands of people are still without power. According to Evergy, about 2,500 homes are currently without power. That includes all of Westmoreland and parts of Topeka, and an Evergy spokeswoman we spoke to tells us that customers in the Topeka area can expect restoration over the next several hours. But the outage in Westmoreland could last a lot longer. They'll know more after crews get a good look in the daylight tomorrow morning. And also tonight, more than 500 Free State Co-op customers in Jackson County are without power. Well, after an active afternoon, we have several photos and videos of the tornadoes that came in. Storm Track meteorologist Eli Millard is in studio to go over those. Eli?
Yeah, that's right. We've seen plenty of videos and photos being sent into the area, and we've got plenty to go through here. So let's go ahead and start off with our first video. It was in Pottawatomie County, submitted by Linda Chambers. You can see off in the distance a little bit of that lowering there, really right along the horizon. But if we go to our next video, you can really start to see that tornado that was on the ground. If we can go ahead and go to that next video that we had right here. So this is our video that was sent in from Candy Fitz Dietz. This is also in Pottawatomie County, so you can see a much better shot of it during the daylight. We had the daylight working for us, able to see this tornado before later on we saw some of those tornadoes in the storm get rain wrapped a little bit. But there's that tornado now, seeing that's on the ground there, the little bit of the kick of that dirt that we're seeing at the base of that tornado. But our next video is from our own digital reporter, 27 News digital reporter Coulter Robinson shot this video at Topeka Boulevard and 13th. That's looking towards the north and west. Now, nothing on the ground and nothing confirmed on the ground with this area of this storm, but this was just looking northwest of town, a lowering there. And now we've got plenty of photos sent in, especially damage in Westmoreland. This was sent in by JT Vander Gilder. So that's the damage and some extensive damage that we've seen already in Westmoreland. Here's another photo of that tornado in Pottawatomie County from Candace Fitch Dietz as well. And plenty of photos, and this is from Jeffrey Energy Center from Kenneth Horace. And you can really see at the bottom of that tornado, you can see it is on the ground at that point, snaking down from the sky. And then this is from our own 27 News photographer, Jared Long. That is whenever that storm, the tornado warning was just on the northern sides of Topeka. And then another photo from the system that was north of Manhattan. Now, everything passed to the north of Manhattan, but this photo from Frank Tortella shows that tornado just on the northern sides moving through Pottawatomie County. But Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller has a view of all the storm reports across northeast Kansas.
Yeah, and there was quite a few of them. Obviously, we've been focusing a lot on that particular one right there, the Westmoreland tornado, for good reason. But that wasn't the only tornado that we had. We also had another tornado damaged a home with a family that was inside at the time. We got word from emergency management in Nemaha County that southwest of the Centralia area, there was that damage, but the family was all right. And that's the good side of things. Rebuilding will have to be done, though, with some damage there. Had a lot of hail reports as well. Had the funnel cloud around Silver Lake. Had a tornado touchdown just north of Grantville. A little bit of some damage there. A little bit of wind damage in a larger portion of that area. We'll see whether or not closer to Williamstown, if there was another tornado touchdown. We got a report of that. Certainly looked like it would have on radar as well. So between the hail and the wind, a lot of damage there. But all those storms have moved out to the south and east now. And with those storms moving away, it really seems to be working things over in such a way that we may not get a repeat of thunderstorms again tomorrow. The outlook right now shows the greatest risk of severe weather farther to the southwest, but the slight risk area comes up to our western counties. Would not surprise me, though, if we end up seeing our western counties removed from the risk area for tomorrow, as conditions may not come together, and I think we'd be fine with that. Hopefully, though, we'll see the severe weather stay out of our area for your Wednesday. We're going to be watching that closely. There's still a chance for showers and storms, but shouldn't be a repeat of what we went through today. I'll talk more about what you can expect in the days ahead, still to come.
All right, Matt, thank you. We'll check back in later. A tornado warning issued in Topeka stirred quite the scene at the Capitol. Lawmakers rushing to shelter. Some also surveyed the clouds forming outside. Strong winds knocked down some trees in the downtown area as well, but the damage wasn't nearly as bad as what happened in the town of Westmoreland, just an hour away. Now, we spoke with a state representative for that district about the aftermath.
I think we have great people in Pottawatomie County, and we've gone through some difficulties over the years, but I think everybody's there to support each other, and we will do whatever it takes to rebuild and help those affected get back to a regular life as soon as possible. So stay encouraged, and we'll certainly do everything we can to help.
Now, we're also continuing to track damage in the Shawnee County area, and that's where we find Glenn Kinley live tonight. He is live off Highway 24 near Topeka Boulevard, where one family had a scary experience just before taking shelter. Glenn, tell us about what you saw and what they told you.
Rebecca, yeah, I'm off Highway 24 here, just across the highway from the KCs, just on the other side of Topeka Boulevard for a locator for you. But it's the trailer park behind me here on the north side of the highway, where one woman tells me that a tree branch fell right on their home just as they were exiting, going to take shelter. In fact, it split their home in half. Demi Booth is who I talked to, and she told me that they were getting ready to leave the house to go to what is a shared community shelter here in their neighborhood. And that's when, not the whole tree, but certainly a significant branch and a good chunk of the tree that hangs right above their house fell right down. And she says it just snapped and divided their home in two and landed, quite frankly, feet away from her younger brother, forcing them to exit the home elsewhere. They did get out of the home safely. They did get to shelter safely, and everyone's okay now, but certainly a scary moment for everyone involved.
I'm still trying to gather my thoughts, honestly. It's just quite a bit to, go through and almost watch your baby brother be hit by the tree, because I wouldn't have left that trailer without him. If I would have stayed right there next to his side, I wouldn't have left. That is my little brother, and that's the one person I'd do anything for them kids. My thought process was to make sure that he was safe, and then once we got safe, it was panic.
She says they do have a place where they've already worked out to stay in the meantime while figuring out what to do with their home. And now just east of here, you're going to see some video on your screen. This is in the town of Grantville, and this was a couple hours ago when I shot this video. There was talk of some major damage there, but residents told me everyone there is okay as well. You'll see a couple big trees ripped right out of the ground, but everyone I talked to said besides that damage, there wasn't a whole lot else, just a handful of trees that you're seeing at, certainly a lot of branches in the road. One person in Grantville did tell me that they noticed the winds were even heavier. It was somewhat calm in their neighborhood near the church, but the winds were even heavier across the highway and not far away. Perhaps maybe it could have been worse where they were at, and it maybe just missed them, but certainly glad that everyone in this area and everyone that we talked to today here in Shawnee County is okay, is safe, and is with their loved ones. Working for you live in Topeka, Glenn Kinley, 27 News.
Absolutely scary scene, Glenn. Thank you. And all day we've been working for you as these storms hit. So if you haven't already downloaded our free 27 News app, to make sure you can get the latest updates from our Storm Track weather team when the next storm hits.
Threatening 911 calls forcing officers to rush into immediate action.
At this time, stating there is one shooter in the school.
But the calls are not truly what it sounds like. The calls are a hoax, leaving people to question what is going on.
It's a blow to the community.
The fake calls potentially putting lives in danger and law enforcement on high alert.
This is not a joking matter. This is nothing that the law enforcement community or the public safety community or the city leadership in any city takes with any grain of humor whatsoever.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for 27 News at 10. I'm Mackenzie Davis. Multiple calls came in today about threats of an active shooter at high schools across Kansas.
Listening to the trucks come down, they had the big loud blah, 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 waking you up every morning. You knew they wouldn't quit coming.
Now at 6, pieces of the state docking building are being dumped into the Kansas River. Tonight, in a story you'll only find on 27 News, the answers to who gave the authorization and who will have to clean it up.
We are asking for is their patience, because for years now we have been beaten up with complaints about the condition of Topeka Boulevard.
Now at 10, construction is finally underway on the boulevard, but it's coming with drivers irritated with detours and taking matters into their own hands. Tonight, why the city says these moves could put more people at risk.
Plus, the crack of the bat could be coming from the Kansas side. The Royals say they're considering hitting a home run with their future across state lines. How a border war could soon take shape as two sports franchises weigh their options.
And a new statewide program is giving new options to help Kansas foster kids. How it's paving the way for kids to choose their future.
I just can't imagine the pain that the family's going through and that our community's going through. This is such a shock.
That shock now devastating the Topeka community. 26 lives now lost as the city approaches the most murders it has seen in 1 year.
I am very concerned about the level of homicide because we are coming off of 2 years where we had kind of bucked the national trend and been down.
But it doesn't replace an innocent life that's now gone.
Sweetest little girl ever, just looking for love.
Tonight, many are reflecting the loss of a 5-year-old girl who was murdered and the next steps for justice.
I don't care about statistics. What I care about is what happened to this little girl.
First and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City!
The call heard around the world. That catch from Chiefs wide receiver Mecole Hardman sealed the comeback for the Chiefs' third Super Bowl title in 5 years.
A game-changing opportunity. Kansas lawmakers are looking to scoop and score to lure the Chiefs into Kansas. And tonight, their message to the team in hopes of getting a big win for the state.
Plus, roadkill hazards popping up significantly in Shawnee County. We investigate how you can avoid an unexpected run-in with these wild animals.
And beware of bugs. An invasive species is trickling into parts of northeast Kansas. It will explain the impact of these pesky insects. But first, lawmakers say they have the support to bring the Chiefs to Kansas.
But first, we begin with team coverage as we are following this winter storm that's continuing to drop snow on northeast Kansas. You're getting live looks from all around our viewing area now as we hit this 10 o'clock hour. Tonight, KDOT says that they have closed I-70 in both directions from Salina all the way to the Colorado border, and more flurries are coming into our viewing area.
27 News starts with breaking news.
Well, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us here for 27 News at 10. I'm Katie Garceron. We start with breaking news tonight. Topeka police have confirmed one person has been killed in a suspicious death this afternoon. TPD says they were called to the 1200 block of Southeast 37th Street around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They say they went into a vacant building and found one person dead inside. Police did not say if this is a homicide investigation. We'll continue to update you as we learn more.
We have breaking news here at 6. The Kansas police chief who led that raid on a small Kansas newspaper has now resigned after being suspended last week. Tonight, Marion Police Chief Gideon Cody announced his resignation at the Marion City Council meeting. He's stepping down as chief of police effective immediately. Marion Mayor David Winfield suspended Cody on Friday. The controversial raid of the Marion County Records Office came back in August, and police accused the paper of identity theft and computer crimes. And this was after a restaurant owner in town accused the paper of illegally obtaining information about her driving record.
But first tonight, not guilty. A jury has set a man free after he was accused of killing 2 people, including a pregnant woman. Now, thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Rebecca Chung. The Topeka shooting happened in 2016 at the Fairlawn Green Apartments. Now, Yanez Sanford was accused of killing Dominique Ray and Camera Trotter. He was charged with capital murder, and this is the only second time in state history that a capital murder defendant has been acquitted.
27 News starts with breaking news.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for 27 News at 10. I'm Rebecca Chung. We begin with breaking news tonight out of Topeka. Topeka police have arrested a second suspect involved in Topeka's 35th murder of 2023. Tonight, police say 28-year-old Jordan Taylor now faces charges of first-degree murder and aggravated robbery. It comes after police found a dead body inside an apartment complex near the 600 block of 14th Street on Tuesday. TPD believes that the murder happened on December 28th, which was 5 days earlier. And police have not yet released the name of the victim at this time. And we'll keep you updated on air and online at KSNT.com as we learn more.
That's all for me right now in this show, but make sure to tune in again at our 10 o'clock broadcast where I'll be talking to one of the winners from tonight's election who will be going on to the general election. For now, working for you live in South Topeka, Jacob Kaufman, 27 News.
Okay, Jacob, thank you for that update. We are also following many races for tonight's primary election.
Well, certainly a sticky situation one Shawnee County woman will never forget. A horse found itself stuck in the mud last night, and without the help of an entire crew of firefighters, it may not have made it out successfully. Tonight, 27 News reporter Caroline Searle joins us live from Shawnee Heights Fire Station 23. So, Caroline, you caught up with the horse's caretaker today. Walk us through what happened.
Well, Amy, the woman who owns this horse has a pretty good sized property out in Barryton.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Rebecca Chung. I want you to get a good look at this video right now because it could be a while before you see this in real life anymore. Toll booths across the state, they're becoming a thing of the past. Following the switch to cashless tolling in July, crews have started removing the booths. 27 News reporter Gabriel Johnson joins us live in South Topeka tonight. And Gabe, you're live at one of the sites where this booth is about to come down.
Well, you may have noticed a demolition project on your drive-through downtown Topeka today. Crews are tearing down the old Topeka Foundry and Iron Works building. It's on Kansas Avenue at I-70.
We've got an update for you tonight after the recent events that have happened with 3 homicides, 3 murders that is occurring in less than a 24-hour span. Topeka police have identified the man who was killed yesterday morning in South Topeka. He is 55-year-old Gregory Butts of Topeka. Now, this murder was the start of a series of events that ended in downtown Topeka with the police shootout. 33-year-old Eric D. Perkins, who you can see right here being dragged out of the car by police from Missouri, was identified as the suspect. Perkins was critically injured and remains in the hospital at this time. Now, earlier this morning in an unrelated incident, a body was found underneath the Polk Quincy Viaduct, not too far from the police station. Police say officers found suspicious items that are not known at this time, and this is still currently under investigation. Now, also this morning, Topeka police responded to the Meadowlark Apartments in South Topeka. Officers found one dead and another with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have identified the victim as 23-year-old Keith Gaylord Jr. of Topeka. A suspect has not been named at this point in time.